Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thank you so much. And how was your weekend?
My weekend? Oh, it was super, super good. I actually spent it down in LA.
If you like, we can start with your background. We would love to know in which part of your life acting happened and modeling as well. How was that experience for you?
So, I started modeling and acting all because of my little history with pageants when I was a kid. So, I was really, really into performing. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, And then at some point, there was this casting call for this acting school, and they gave away a year of free classes. And so I decided, okay, why not try it out? And I actually ended up winning for modeling. um, yeah,
Oh.
so I kind of built up training throughout the years, and it kind of just yeah, I don't know, it just kind of happened.
And do you remember like the first major project or role you were involved within this entertainment industry?
Yeah. So I trained for 7 years before I got my first role.
Oh.
And I played almost like a background character, but I still had a couple lines in this movie called The Mustang. Um, Basically, it came out in theaters. It was really fun, and I was I was so stoked to be on there. And then after I got that role, I continued to build up different short films, and those were honestly I think the first couple ones that I've done.
And until now, for you, what would you consider is like the most difficult and easiest part of acting?
Easiest part, I think, for me is memorization. Especially when it comes to scripts. I think I'm very good at being able to interpret whatever I need to there, and I'm very good at memorizing things, even though my memory is a little a little dodgy. And I also think the hardest part of acting is, I'd say, immersing yourself into the role that they really want you to be. It's very hard to give up a lot of personality traits in order to fit a certain character. So I would say that's the hardest part.
Okay, and now related to modeling, the same question. What would you consider like the easiest and the hardest for you now with modeling?
With modeling, there's a lot of ups and downs. I think the easiest part of modeling is um, is owning the design. Really, I think it's whenever I wear the clothes, I think it's so easy to really kind of show it off and model it like how you're supposed to. And I think the hardest part of modeling, hmm, I'd say this is a really hard question.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah. I'd say having to deal with uncomfortable clothes. I've been there. I've been there. A lot of it, sometimes it can be really harsh and super weird feeling, and I think that's the hardest part, honestly. Or posing. I'm so bad at posing.
And now all of this Dhar Mann experience, how was your personal experience with Dhar Mann for the first time?
Dhar Mann, that was a humongous turning point in my acting career. So when I first got Dhar Mann, I was super, super excited, and the thing that Dhar Mann does is continuously use the same characters in different episodes. So I was so excited. Working with Dhar Mann honestly was super easy, super breezy. I think that was the first time that I've ever had a huge social media following. That's what kind of really sprouted my career. I think that working with them is honestly a humongous deal because of how many opportunities they give you, and they're also very, very kind, especially on set. They're really, really nice. So I think my whole personal experience with Dhar Mann has been actually really good.
And now I was digging in your info and I came across with this LA Fashion Week, isn't it?
Yeah.
How was that experience? I found it really interesting.
LA Fashion Week, this last weekend has been amazing.
Wow.
So, in prior fashion weeks, I've never done LA before. This is my first time
Oh,
doing LA
oh, wow.
Fashion Week. Yeah, and it was truly a wonderful experience. I got to go down and wear beautiful clothes, and I actually worked with a really cool artist.
Oh,
And I was able to showcase and act and model all at the same time. And honestly, I think it was really cool. I got so much press done. I got pictures professionally. Working with other models was really nice. It was like a huge networking and marketing place for me. So honestly, LA Fashion Week was probably like also a huge milestone in my modeling career.
mhm, mhm. And also related to all of this, I'm pretty sure that your fans are gonna ask, how is one day of yours regularly?
Um, so this is like it's almost like a universal experience for people like me. And balancing it can be really difficult. I tend to put my schoolwork over a lot of other things. And at some point in my career, when I was super busy on Dhar Mann,
Mhm.
and acting and stuff like that, I actually went homeschooled so I could do my set school, and I could also, kind of balance that way. And balancing friendships are hard too. I haven't been able to really hang out with them a lot more than usual, but honestly, like I think it's not too bad, but it definitely can be a challenge, especially if you get overbooked and busy.
And as you previously say, and I actually forgot to ask you this, do you like watching yourself on the big screen, or do you like showing your friends, your family, like for example an episode of Dhar Mann? Do you like to, or you're just like
Um, I think it really depends on the role. Some roles that I have, I'm really attached to, and I'm very proud
mhm,
to show. I mean, all of them for sure.
mhm,
But sometimes, like, I don't think it's bad, but sometimes when I watch myself on TV or on the screen or on episodes and stuff like that, I get like a little cringed because I'm like, oh God, why did I look like that, or why do I sound like that, or you know?
And another one I have for you, when it comes to acting, do you have like a specific project you would love to be part of?
Yeah. So when I was growing up, it's definitely changed quite a bit. It was always I wanted to be on Disney, and then once I was on Disney, I kind of shifted more towards wanting to be in some type of science fiction movie or even TV show. Think like The Hundred or Maze Runner or even stuff like Harry Potter,
Oh,
which I've always found super interesting. Or even
mhm.
like a Marvel movie. I think that's like my next big goal.
And related to modeling, do you have like an ideal project? Maybe New York Fashion Week, something like that?
Um, yeah. So I've done New York Fashion Week once.
Oh,
um,
okay, okay.
yeah, and then I've done LA Fashion Week now. And I think the next thing I want to do is maybe Paris or anywhere in Europe Fashion Week. And maybe land, I don't know, like some type of high fashion brand, which I think would be really nice.
And if you have the chance to move to Europe for like a year or two, would you like to do that?
Oh yeah,
Or in say,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
oh, wow.
absolutely.
Thanks so much for this first part. Then we are gonna have this second part. It is based in your internet movie database. There are three projects, and you're gonna tell me like the funniest, the craziest, maybe the most interesting story behind that project. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay. Number one, I saw this TV series Money as Jessie, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. So, in the series episode Manny by Brat TV.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think the most interesting thing was when I went onto set. I had the script all memorized. The script was completely done, and I had it ready in the bag. We went completely improvised. we would use it just as a baseline, and we'd kind of work off of each other's energy to make the episode more funny and more authentic. So
Wow.
it was really awesome.
And I forgot to ask, what is your method in order to get memorized your script? How do you do that?
I've kind of experimented with many different memorization like hacks and tricks.
Um,
Um, but I would say what I really like to do is
uh,
get my body completely relaxed and have like right before bed, I will reread the script maybe 2 or 3 times.
uh,
One time as the character and 2 or 3 times just as like I'm just reading through the dialogue, and I fall asleep and I ended up waking up with all of the lines memorized. I don't know what happens.
and now this second one, Magic Bake Off Experience. Wow, it is insane. I used to watch that. It is
Really?
impressive. How was that?
Oh, that was like probably the most magical experience like ever. I mean, it was always a dream to work with Disney, and I finally got to do it in my own little way. I had no idea what the set was gonna look like, and I went backstage and they gave me like my apron and these super cool shirts. We had our own little like Disney themed dressing room with like little stuffed animals that they gave us, which was really cool. But I think like the most exciting part of it all was walking in to see two of my favorite Disney actors ever, and all of the kitchen setup. I mean, they gave us like a tiny little tour, and they're like, and this is where you're gonna do all of this work, and it was like it looked so elaborate, and it was amazing.
Wow, and do you remember what did you baked?
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
So this episode was a pilot episode for the show actually, and we were supposed to be making Ben and Mal from Descendants their wedding cake. So
oh,
they gave us a couple challenges, and it had to include the colors purple, white, and gold. And we had to use the styrofoam cake base, so there's a cutout in the middle of the cake.
and related to all of these three projects, do you have like footage? Like, for example, Disney?
Yeah. I have footage from Disney and from working with Dhar Mann. I have many photos and videos of us in the cast all together. I even have videos of me working on Manny. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this second part, and now this third part, hot takes like this or that. Are you ready?
Okay. Hot take.
The number one is acting versus modeling.
That's hard. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I think I'd say modeling.
Spring or summer?
Summer all the way. I am a summer girly for sure.
Disney Channel versus Nickelodeon.
I would say experience-wise, Nickelodeon, but working with wise, I'd say Disney.
Gracie Abrams or Taylor Swift.
Honestly, I've never really been a huge Swiftie, but when Gracie Abrams came out with That's So True, I was like, yeah, I love Gracie Abrams.
I have the exact same opinion of Gracie Abrams. Okay.
Okay.
Chaperone or Selena Gomez.
Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna say Selena Gomez because I grew up on her Come and Get It. It was so good. And I can't believe like she's really expanding her roots in Spanish and then stuff like that. It was really nice.
What makes you laugh the most?
What makes me laugh the most? My humor is really broken. It honestly, it kind of depends. I don't really think jokes really work on me. But I think it kind of depends on like comedic timing. I think that's what makes me laugh the most. If things get really awkward and I go, I'm just gonna bust out laughing.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
To play a good girl or a villain.
Honestly, me personally, I think I like being a villain more. I
Oh.
feel like I can channel the energy.
What is your favorite place in the US?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Would it be cheating if I were to say Hawaii?
Excellent. And do you have a place outside maybe you would love to visit or already visited?
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed going to Italy. Um, yeah,
Wow,
it's one of my favorite places. I really felt at home, and it was so gorgeous and beautiful, and I really love the countryside as well.
excellent, excellent. You're just killing these hot takes. Which person would you say is your role model, like right now?
My role model for right now, honestly, I would kind of say Ariana Grande. She was doing amazing. She got her ultimate goal of playing Glinda in Wicked,
Mhm.
and she's done so much, and she's kind of overcoming a lot of other things as well. So yeah, I'd say Ariana Grande.
And your favorite actor? Do you have a favorite actor?
Yes, I do. Out of all of the wonderful and amazing actors out there, I'm gonna go ahead and say The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, he's hilarious to me, and he's been in so many good comedic movies, and he can play so many different roles. I think that's really, or I admire that a lot, and also, like, he's just really funny.
And actress?
This is a hard one, because I listen, or I watch so many different shows with strong female leads,
Mhm.
um, but I would say, honestly, I'd say whoever played Katniss Everdeen in The Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence, she
Mhm.
is extremely talented, and I'm super envious of the way she's able to portray her role so well.
And if you have the chance to know another celebrity, even if it is from the past or like from this present, which person would you love to meet?
I would say probably Bruno Mars. He seems like such a down to earth guy, such like a chill dude. I feel like we could honestly get along pretty well.
And speaking of music, do you have like a favorite song right now?
A favorite song right now? Yes. Okay. I listen to almost every single type of song, even country. I listen to a lot of EDM too. Um, hmm. Out of out of all of that, I'd say maybe Nikes by Steve or oh my gosh, I'm like blanking. Frank Ocean.
Okay, and a couple more I have for you. Do you have a favorite movie?
A favorite movie? Yes. Okay.
Uh,
From my childhood until now, it has never once changed. Ever.
uh, oh,
Nothing can beat The Sandlot. It was released in like 1995. Oh, it was so good. It was one of my favorite movies.
and series do you have?
I have this really big obsession with animes and K dramas
Oh,
and things like that. And I think one of my favorite series personally is The Business Proposal.
and finally, do you have like a favorite book, something like that? Or
Yeah, yeah, I do have a favorite book. It's sitting actually right next to me. It's called Fourth Wing, and it's this really cool dystopian, almost kind of action slash thriller book, and I think it's really awesome.
and I actually forgot to ask you what do you love the most doing with your spare time?
Hmm. So I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of hobbies, and I'd say probably my favorite things to do with my spare time is learn an instrument. I actually can play maybe around 12 to 13-ish instruments fluently. Yeah.
And speaking within all of these, what would you say is something that most people don't know about you?
A lot of things that people actually don't know about me. Oh, I can sing. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
I've always been like only modeling and only acting and only dancing, but I can sing. I can sing.
oh. Wow, so cool. I am not gonna tell to anyone. That's so cool. You're such a complete artist. Congratulations.
Thank you. It means a
So cool.
lot.
And congratulations for finishing this third part of this hot takes.
Thank you for having me. This has been so awesome.
Do you have like any upcoming project, something like that you would love to share with your audience?
Sure, yeah. So I haven't acted in a long time. It's kind of been like a pretty slow season for me. But I do have a lot of modeling things coming up, especially future fashion weeks in September. Honestly, most of my summer is gonna be spent preparing for college like a normal person. um I mean, there's that, and honestly, I'm just kind of trying to lay back and maybe do a little bit more events and red carpets and stuff like that throughout the summer because I kind of really miss it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, then I'd probably just be like, I don't know, chilling by a pool somewhere. Yeah, I kind of just miss like scrolling around. I just don't gotta do anything. No strings attached. I'm just living life. I kind of do miss it.
Thank you so much for sharing us this personal and so cool information.
Yeah, of course. It is my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
I hope you keep having a fantastic day. Once more, I admire you so much. I was so like excited to meet you, and you're such a cool person.
Thank you so much, and I could say the same about you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so
Of
much,
course.
Natalie.
Bye.
Bye.